Good morning. This is Dr. Scott Lively, and it is the 28th of November. Very cold this morning, and but the sun is up, and it should warm up pretty good pretty soon. I'm here in front of my still unfinished water feature, and to do a commentary this morning, I have written a draft policy statement on private lifestyles. My project for 2021 is Swamp Rangers. I've already announced that. I am putting together the inner workings and organizing a team. And because of my background and all the attacks on me regarding the LGBT issue and the long culture war battle that I was engaged in for 30 years as my primary mission, uh, I I believe, to establish a policy up front for swamp rangers that is going to address that issue in a way that is going to be harmonious with the sort of combination of Christian conservatives and populists that are going to be part of this network. And so I want to get that done and out of the way up front. And really, this reflects my attitude and position I've had for quite a long time regarding working with people that would consider themselves to be conservative homosexuals. And as a matter of fact, the slogan that I begin this commentary with developed from a conversation that I had with a supposedly conservative homosexual in Massachusetts who was going to and has run for office, and while I was running for governor. And my conversation with him uh, went to the issues of what I was willing to do in terms of accommodation of people who struggle with same-sex attraction disorder, and what the real definition of a conservative is. And my position with him was that you cannot be a true conservative if you're pushing or advancing the core progressive agenda item of sexual orientation theory, queer theory by their terms, and that a truly conservative person doesn't advertise their sexual lifestyle. Those things are private; they should be kept private, and the essential importance to society, civilization, of maintaining the primacy of the natural family in the mainstream it's so absolutely critical. And but at the same time, tolerance for people who choose to live outside the mainstream in subcultures is something that I think that's a useful and reasonable compromise when you're dealing with a society we all have to live in. You know, what you do in private is not really my business, but if you make it public, then it is my business. It's everybody's business, and that's where I'm at. So I have drafted a policy in that regard, a draft policy for the swamp rangers regarding private lifestyles, and I want to go ahead and address that now. Let me pull up the document, and while I'm at it, I'll say that uh, there's this whole phenomenon of the rise of the Proud Boys and other populist entities that are rising up sort of at the street level, head to head with Antifa and all that. That this is an issue that I looked up on their website, and they brag about not discriminating on the basis of sexual orientation. A sexual orientation is progressive terminology. This is an invention of the political strategists of the far left, and and I don't know that most people don't realize that. They haven't thought that deeply about any of these issues. But groups like the Proud Boys and others, I'm going to be addressing that in a separate column and maybe more than one regarding the danger of butch male homosexuals at involved in street level warfare against the communists, the hard left, Antifa types. This is exactly what happened in Germany, and we don't want a recreation of that. And anyway, I'll address that separately. Anyway, I found my piece here. It's, again, the draft policy for swamp rangers on private lifestyles. Only agents of chaos push LGBT. Civilized people say MYOB. Of course, that stands for mind your own business. Just as the Marxists use critical race theory and false accusations of systemic racism to sow division and promote racial conflict, they use queer theory, their term, not mine, and sexual orientation rhetoric to sow confusion about sexuality and destabilize the delicate social balance of freedom and privacy in sexual matters. A healthy society preserves the primacy of the natural family while tolerating discrete subcultures, but forcibly mainstreaming those lifestyles breeds chaos, which is why they do it. Indeed, preeminent cultural Marxism pioneer Herbert Marcuse called, quote, the repressive order of procreative sexuality, end quote, the chief barrier to Marxist utopia, and prescribed the, quote, disintegration of the monogamic and patriarchal family, end quote, as the remedy. Only useful idiots cooperate in the disintegration of their own civilization. Therefore, we call upon all Americans to stop legitimizing queer theory's sexual orientation strategy with its false hetero-homo equivalencies and its evil invention of, quote, homophobia to demonize reasonable dissent, and to never let that diabolical slur go unchallenged. Indeed, we should all respect the right and duty of privacy. We won't ask if you don't tell, because a truly private lifestyle is between you and God, but a public stance on any issue affects everyone. Let us all work to restore a public-private balance in sexual lifestyle matters that exclusively mainstreams natural family norms for the collective social good. Anyway, that's my draft policy. I'll be publishing that today. I invite comment on the draft. I may tweak it based upon comments that I get, but this is what I believe. This is, when it comes to public policy matters and dealing with a society in which all of us live and have a stake. So that's it. God bless you, and I'll talk with you next time.